Hi friends, I'm here mugging with my plant because I just wanted to share kind of a cozy, homey plant vlog with you. This season makes it so fun to do some gardening, and I don't have a garden, but I've got a little teeny tiny balcony that I pack full of plants, like this beautiful little mix hanging plant that I have here. And I just thought it'd be kind of cozy to do a vlog while I'm doing my little gardening tasks. I find it very de-stressing. I actually filmed this so long ago, it was spring, but now it's summer and this year just has a habit of getting away from me. And I didn't want to let this slide by without sharing just, some cozy plant footage with you all. And also, I thought we could take the chance to chat and catch up a little bit. I hope your year is going a little bit less hectically than mine, and less hectic than this plant was being at the time. I could not figure out where the long, hanging parts of the plant were coming from. But we got it sorted out, and it's so pretty. It's actually been really thriving hanging here in this nice sunny spot. So pretty to water it. Oh my gosh. I just love these little moments of zen that gardening brings. I think all hobbies really bring. I've been really relying on my hobbies a lot this year for de-stressing and just finding a little bit of peace and calmness. So obviously gardening is one of my favorite hobbies, or just, tinkering with my houseplants and my little balcony plants. But I also love journaling. I have a lot of videos on that, and I've been really doing a lot of junk journaling this year, if you know what that is, where you just kind of take little found items and make a journal out of little remnants of your day. I find that very comforting. So I definitely want to do a video on that, maybe one of my next few videos. But anyway, back to the plants. I got this really cool hanging organizer, or I don't know what you would call it. It's a hanging potted plant situation, and I thought this would be really convenient on the back of the door, that I could put different herbs in it. So it's like a really compact herb garden once I got it all planned out and planted. I've got chives, basil, dill, mint. The mint grows really, really well. All of these need a ton of water, so it's a little hard to keep up with how much water they want in these tiny little pockets. It just doesn't hold a lot of soil or water, and it's kind of a mess. But being able to come outside and get fresh herbs is so cool to me, because I just, like I said, I don't have a yard, and I love having a little tiny mobile garden like this. So moving back inside, this pothos plant is probably my top favorite houseplant. It's actually grown so much more even since this video, but I grew this just from a cutting. I showed in my other plant videos how you can take a propagation of a plant, and that's so satisfying to me. It's like, this is my baby that I grew from scratch for free, and it's slowly taking over this room, which makes me so happy. But as you can see, she wants more room. Like, those roots should not be coming out the drainage holes in the bottom. And I've noticed with pothos, when they're in too small of a pot, that the leaves start to kind of turn yellow one by one, which is a bummer, since the whole fun thing about pothos is just to have a really long vine, and that can lead to having sections of the vine that are just the stem, no beautiful leaves. So I definitely want to keep this plant really healthy and keep all the leaves on it. And we are pausing to say hi to the cat. He wants out here so bad, but I don't think that would be a very good idea on an upper story balcony. So he's just spectating and making his feelings known. And it was kind of funny because there's two doors to the balcony. The other door had my dog Cindy trying to say hi. She is so cute. So they were very involved in my work out here. But anyway, those are one of the yellow leaves that I was worried about taking over the plant. And I really want to keep it very nice and full of leaves. So that is why we're putting it in this ginormous pot that I got. It was honestly probably a little bit too big for it, but this plant is really well set up, so I think it's going to fill in just fine. And next I want to take care of this little, I don't know what you call these, like a mini Monstera Swiss cheese plant. It's been very scraggly and very unhappy. So again, it's going to get a bigger pot. And this plant has just since taken off and thrived. It was just a cheap find at the flea market, and that's a really good place to get affordable plants. if you go to any kind of like outdoor flea market or antique market. But I put it in this really fun disco ball planter. I absolutely adore this. It brings so much fun and life to my living room hanging in the window now. You'll see, it catches the light. It's so cool. And it's a nice big size, but it doesn't have any drainage holes, so I prefer to put my plants with drainage whenever possible. But this one has been working out okay, and it's got a lot of space in there, which makes it so much happier. And I'm also using little bobby pins. I think I've shown this hack before, but that helps to kind of anchor the vines in place because those little nodes can grow fresh roots down into the soil. So I'm sort of just coiling it up into itself to make the plant look more full at the top, and then let it grow down into the hanging vines. I'm moving back to another pothos that I just recently grew from a cutting. I hope this one's gonna get as long as that one in my office, but I have this beautiful vintage potted, well, it's like a swan planter, and again, it doesn't have any drainage in the bottom. But I just thought this was so beautiful, and I really wanted to use it for a plant in my bedroom. My bedroom gets like no light, so pothos is one of the few things that can survive in there. Pothos is just my favorite plant. It's such a great functional plant. And it's pretty too. This is another one grown from a free cutting of a friend's plant. I think this one's so cool because it has some variegation. But now I'm just kind of going around watering. I have another Swiss cheese plant from a cutting. I have this little snake plant here. And I find my weekly trip around the house to water all my plants just so soothing because it's just so nourishing for them and for me. Like, it puts me in touch with nature in my own home, and I find that to be so priceless. So just checking in on all these little guys, seeing if they're thirsty, and offering them a little bit of love. I like to talk to them. I like to sing to them. It's a whole ritual. So I just feel like a little pollinator, like fluttering around my apartment, just visiting everybody. And it's so fun. But this was another new acquisition. This was a really big variation of a monstera. It has some different coloring, which is really cool. It's not like the really fancy, like $400, $1,000 monsteras, but I got it for a really good deal at the flea market, and I was just kind of curious to see where it goes once I bring it back to life and heal it a little bit. It's a little bit banged up, and I'm curious how much color variegation it's going to wind up having, because that's really, really cool. So I was just kind of assessing what she needs. She needs a lot of love. As you can see, cleaning and polishing the leaves made a huge difference already. So gorgeous. And just getting it, I'm not going to repot it right away because I don't want to like shock my new plant too much. All these leaves are really curling up, and I just think there's like a little bit of trauma going on. So I didn't repot it. I just set it into another pot for stability because that's a big monstera. It's like very top heavy, and I just gonna see what happens with this beauty. But again, it's just so cozy to welcome new plants into my home. I'm just like, come on in, babies. Let's make our home even more comfy together. But anyway, this is how the disco ball planter wound up in the window. I thought it's so cool how it catches the light all throughout the day. It makes these little sparkles all over everything, which makes me so happy. And they just kind of shimmer and twist. I think I really feel strongly every home needs a disco ball planter. So if you take one thing from this video, I hope that's it. It makes me so happy. We call it like happy hour when the sun hits it every day, and we just, all the animals, all the humans, we all just really enjoy watching the twinkles happen. So very, very cool. And like I said, this plant has really taken off since then. So I'll have to show you in my next video a better view of just how happy it is, because it makes me so happy. But anyway, here's my happy little balcony. Things are thriving out here, and I have my herb garden on the back of the door now, which is so cool. I've got flowers blooming all spring and summer, and this is just kind of like a little rack where I put plants that are struggling or plants that I don't know where else to put them. And it's just kind of magic because they tend to flourish there. Like, look at that succulent, it's so huge. But yeah, some of those are my problem children, but they're all doing well. And the herb garden is doing really well as long as I water it every single day. but it's so fun to cook a meal and just come on outside and get some fresh dill to put on my salmon or whatever. It makes me really, really happy. And if you have more room than I do to garden, then I hope you consider yourself very lucky, because that's so cool. But here's my jasmine. It smells amazing. I absolutely love it. I still have a poinsettia going from Christmas. It's lost some of its colored leaves since then, but I'm hopeful that it will come back next Christmas. And I just like to come out here and just, fiddle with my garden. These flowers are so pretty, and I wish I could plant them in the ground, but they're doing really well in the pot, as are these. So they just look so vivid and beautiful outside my window, and it makes me so happy every time. But I've got some hydrangeas going. I like to put pink flamingos in absolutely everything. Since, again, no yard to put yard flamingos in, so I have balcony flamingos. And I'm trying to grow some strawberries from seeds in that cute little container. So I don't have any fruit yet, but I do have a plant growing. I have my flamingo watering can. This is just my teeny tiny little corner of happiness. But I put the pothos back in its new giant pot. It's been so happy to have the extra pot, and it's been growing even longer, taking up even more of the room, which I think is so cool. Got my plant stand all spruced up. Everybody's really happy in this corner. And I put that monstera right by the plant light, because those are plant grow light bulbs in that lamp. And I thought that would hopefully help it, encourage it to have more variegation, because supposedly a lot of light factors into that. So we will see if the new leaves have that really cool variegation on them or not. But either way, I'm just happy to see her so happy and shiny. It's so satisfying to me. If you didn't watch my other plant video, I actually use mayonnaise to shine these leaves. It's an old school hack from my friend's grandma, and I just think that that actually makes them the prettiest, shiniest possible leaves. So it's my little plant corner. And if you haven't seen, that's our vintage television that we scored. It doesn't work yet, but I think it's a cool plant stand. And I have these in my entryway. I have this in my vanity in my bedroom. Hopefully that pothos will really take off. And it's so pretty in that vintage planter. I just absolutely love it. And this day of plant care has just been so soothing for my soul. Just like I said, going around my apartment. This is the plant stand in my bedroom. There's so much greenery all throughout my house, and it just really makes me so happy. So I love visiting it all and sprucing it all up. Those are actually fake orchids. My friend gave me the tip to put the fake orchids in when it's not flowering. It's a real plant, but it's not really flowering. So I don't know. I think that looks pretty good, actually. And it keeps it like a nice, cheerful spot in my plant stand, even when it's not doing anything. And those little antennas are actually grow lights. They keep everybody happy, keeps me happy. I feel so recharged from this plant day. And I just want to say thank you for joining me, and I hope you feel recharged too.